Hello guys, my name is Andrei, welcome back. Today we'll look how the hell a blockchain works. And this blockchain is kind of magic word. It's hard to understand the concepts behind it. It looks like it's some sort of a database on a distributed nodes, but what's so special about it? And I think the best way to explain blockchain is to use sample application available online. And below the video, I'll post URL to that application. It demonstrates the concepts of the blockchain, greatly and in a simple way. So we'll be using that to try to understand how it works. Okay, so let's jump into my screen, and this is the application. It was not built by me. It's just available online, and it's also the source code for that application is on a GitHub repository. And yeah, let's see. So first of all, there are several concepts to go through. So to make sure that you would understand how the blockchain architecture is created, that's a hash, blockchain, and distributed environment, and tokens, and Coinbase. So basically, blockchain is architecture behind cryptocurrency, but blockchain also can be used not only for cryptocurrency but for business transactions with smart contracts. And the main advantage of those business transactions, they're public and visible to everyone. So if your use case is involves interaction between different companies, and the nature of the transaction is open, so that anyone should be able to verify this transaction, then public blockchain with Ethereum is probably the best option to go with. Okay, so first concept is hash. So let's say if I type anything here in a data field, you will see that hash is updated, and hash value is always of the same length. So no matter what data I type, it's the same length, but the value is changing. And hash is a key concept of the blockchain. Because blockchain is it's a chain of blocks, and each block contains data, and then the way the blockchain is able to identify if the chain is correct or not. If it's correct, if data that was originally saved in this chain is unchanged, but if something happens and data is unchanged, then the sequence of hash codes will be different than original, and it would mean that data was compromised. Okay, so blocks, and the block is kind of the element which keeps the data, and each block is assigned with hash code, and this is block number, and this parameter called nonce. And this parameter is used to in combination with data field is used to calculate the hash code of this value. So if I type for example ABC, then I get this hash code for ABC. And the way blockchain works, to execute transaction, blockchain algorithm must execute certain calculations on a blockchain node network. And depending on blockchain implementation, those tasks or calculations can be different. In this example, for example, it says that hash code must have 4 zeros in the front, in the prefix. And this means the machine should be able to find such value for nonce, so that combination of that value with data value would give the hash code with 4 zeros in the front. And this job is called mining. So this is what we do mining. We execute algorithm to calculate the hash which is required by the blockchain. So let's say I click mine, and then it algorithm identified that to get hash code with 4 zeros in the front for this data, we need to use nonce 149840. And this means it becomes like a key. Hash is a key for this data, ABC, with combination of 149840 nonce. Okay, and this is the single block. And then when we have a chain of blocks, for example, for the second block, it contains previous hash value and current hash value. So previous hash value points to the block on the left side, so this one. And now what happens if I change the value from original in the first block, then all the blockchain becomes invalid because hash code is changing, and this hash code doesn't match the hash code of the first block is changing, and it doesn't match hash code stored in the second block, which identified this previous hash code of the first block. So to fix that, we need to do mining again, and we fixed the first block, and then still all the other blocks are still invalid because the hash changed, and now we mine second and third, and in this way we would fix the blockchain. But in reality, when data is stored on a blockchain, it's fixed, and if you would not change the data because the operation to update the blockchain is very expensive, and this mining task is very time consuming and expensive. So you would not change the data which is already saved. That's one reason, and the second reason, it's not allowed because blockchain is mirrored on different nodes that support that blockchain. And if you would update blockchain on one node and even mine correct hash codes, then the algorithm of the blockchain would see that on all other nodes the hash codes are different, and if majority of the nodes have different hash codes, then it would flag node which contains updated hash code as invalid, and would mark this transaction which was trying to update the data as a false transaction. So you can see in this basic example, for example, we got distributed blockchain. So we have one chain on one node, second chain on peer B node, and peer C. So if I change to ABC, then blockchain running on node A, it becomes invalid, but all the same information which was stored replicated on other nodes still contains correct hash codes. And even if you would mine new proper hash codes for the blockchain on node A, then it will be flagged invalid, since majority of blockchains, mirrored blockchains on other nodes have different hash codes. And this is with string data. Typically, another example is with tabular data. For example, if I change some value, then immediately entire blockchain becomes invalid, and this means the contract is violated and data is incorrect. And correct hash codes are being stored on other nodes, and we can easily flag that someone was trying to update data on node A, and this is invalid operation. Okay, so this is quick overview of the blockchain. I was trying to explain it with simple words as possible, just to understand the concept. So there is a block which stores the data, and this block is assigned with hash code, and to execute like this data storage or transaction, we need to mine correct hash code, and then as soon as we get this hash code will be used on the next blocks on the same blockchain. And if someone would change specific block of the blockchain, then entire blockchain becomes invalid, and the copy of this blockchain is stored on all other nodes on the network. And if someone would mine correct hash codes for the certain blockchain, then we would see that it's invalid operation, because on other nodes the hash codes are different. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.